you reintroduced segregation and you thought that black people wasn't going to accept your offer. We accepted your offer. You know why? Because black America has never lived under a post-segregated America. There are hundreds of sundown towns all over this nation, north and south. Black people know that there are certain neighborhoods that you are not allowed to be in once the sun goes down. You better not. There's even certain places within some of the major cities. Like there's a sundown town in the middle of the city of Chicago. It's called Bridgeport. Even you can consider downtown Chicago, like Mag Mile, sort of a sundown town. A section of Chicago that to get there, you're gonna have to go through checkpoints and hidden police officers and things like that. And that's across the entire country. Our neighborhoods are over-policed and underprotected. We have the most police presence out of any area in this country. And you would think more police, less crime. No, because their job isn't to solve crime or to prevent crime. Their job strictly is to keep black people from crossing the border of their neighborhood, to make it a terrifying experience to leave the south side of Chicago and go to the north side of Chicago to get something to eat, to go downtown and take your woman out on a nice date, to leave Waukegan and go to Lincolnshire, to go to the IMAX theater. Any of those things could potentially be a life-ending trip. And so we've always experienced segregation. Going to a restaurant and they seat you by the toilets or seat you by the kitchen. Taking your children to a school and the teachers treat your child as if they are a problem. Although the rest of the children are absolutely demonic, but your child, simply standing up for himself, has been labeled a troublemaker. So, although you may have taken away the nigger-only fountains, you replaced it with a police force that constantly kept driving home the message: this is a nigger-only side of town. And the moment that you cross the border, you will pay, sometimes with your life. And everyone else in this country understands that segregation never went anywhere. That's why we have so many instances where a black person could be walking down the street or jogging, just jogging early in the morning, brisk jog, stay in shape. And he finds himself being run down by white men in a pickup truck and gunned down like an animal in the street. Or a young black boy just walking down the street and a man would want to pull out his weapon. That's why white people feel the need to ask black people, what are you doing here? Do you live here? I've never seen you in this building before. Why are you here? You don't belong here. Why are you barbecuing here? What are you doing wearing a hoodie in the rain at night? Because segregation has never gone anywhere. So when you say, hey, we're going to allow companies who have segregated facilities to take government contracts, black people are like, all of the systems that you're dismantling has nothing to do with us. And it is because of the idiocracy of racism and your deep belief in it is the reason why this great experiment is coming to an end. Yes, curtain calls. It is the last call for alcohol on the United States. And you were so afraid that someone from the outside was going to be the demise of your empire. And you know, the oligarchs, the 1%, the overseers, the billionaires who are now running this country in clear, plain sight, knew that they would not be allowed to allow ISIS or any of the other terrorist organizations that they fund. You would not allow them to be the ones to dismantle the system so that you can be in a constant revolution of oppression so that they can take advantage of you and you will be happy about it. No, they knew the only way to slip this past you is for it to be given and be happy, for it to be implemented by one of their own. Someone who has a message of racism and a lack of education, a head of state that can't even read an invitation from the King of England. Someone that you can associate yourself with a message that puts you into a trance, dreamlike state, so that when they dismantle the system, you would. Because you believe that the systems that are being dismantled are for colors. And then for you, these systems were in place long before people of color could even access them. And so now you're okay with one of them saying, hey, you know, if you miss a Social Security check and you call in and check to find out where it is, you're a fraudster. They've convinced you that Social Security, if you dismantle it and take away from it, it will reduce the deficit. Not understanding that Social Security has no parts of the deficit. It's not money that we're borrowing from a foreign nation or bills that we need to pay because we had Boeing or Lockheed Martin build us multi-million-dollar weapons of mass destruction. No. Social Security has been paid out of your wages since the first time you flipped a burger at Burger King. It's your money. And they convince you that your money is the reason why this country is in debt. I would say a masterful job, but when you are racist, anything can get past you. Anything can get past you. Even collusion. Even collusion with Russia can get past you. Felony convictions can get past you. Pedophilia, multiple pictures with Epstein, flight logs to the island. All of those things can get past you because you're racist. You're not superior. It's just, it was a ruse so that you can continuously look in this way while they rob you over here. Nothing, and I do mean nothing, that Donald Trump and this administration will take belongs to black people, belongs to Mexicans, or the LGBTQ community. Nothing. It all belongs to you. The more they dismantle, the less we give a fuck. Because now, you